Hey you guys, it's your girl T. So I want to come on here and talk about the whole 50 Cent and Meek Mill situation. These fools have been beefing for the past 3 days. This whole situation is a mess. And now it's took an even stranger turn because now they're beefing over the poisonous water in Flint, Michigan. So what happened is that over the weekend, Meek Mill had basically released the EP called 4-4. And in that EP, he kind of sent some shots at 50 Cent. So 50 Cent, we all know he's the king of memes and everything else, started going in on Meek. The internet joined in. Him and Meek went back and forth. But what's funny is that just a few days before this, Rick Ross threw hella shade at 50 Cent during a magazine interview. And 50 Cent really didn't address that as much, but he's going all the way in on Meek Mill. So this whole situation is a hot damn mess. On top of him and 50 Cent going back and forth, Irv Gotti also got involved. The Game also had something to say about this situation. But what's crazier is that Instagram user basically added both 50 Cent and Meek Mill and was like, can y'all take time out to address the situation that's going on in, Flint, Michigan? And so Meek was like, he's going to drop $50K to help out. He's going to donate water. And so everybody's been waiting for 50 Cent to say something, to donate something. And basically his reps are not returning any calls. He has nothing to say. This whole situation is a hot damn mess. I want you guys to go ahead and check out all these memes. Check out what 50 Cent had to say. I want you guys to go ahead and check out the memes, the comments, what 50 Cent put out there, what Meek Mill put out there, what Norm Kelly put out there. This whole situation is crazy. Check this out and I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary. So you guys just saw all the comments, the memes, and everything else. And me personally, I have no dog in this fight. You know what I'm saying? I like Meek for the most part. I like 50 Cent, but I just feel like they're both being real childish. 50 Cent is the king of memes. I'm just trying to figure out what happened to his career. Why is he not rapping anymore? I would expect for him to come back. If this was back in the early 2000s, 50 Cent would have came out with a hot diss track. But now it's like all he does is come up with memes and, gifts and everything else. And it's like, I really want him to get back in the studio and really come hard, as opposed to just sitting on social media all day dealing with memes. So it's almost like he's more known for that with this generation than he's even known for his music. So the whole situation is crazy as hell, but I really hope that, Meek Mill ends up donating this $50K. Hope he's not just saying that because of this beef, and it would be nice if 50 Cent joined in too to help bring water to Flint, Michigan. This is a really, really disturbing situation where people are literally dying and sick, and the city knew about this. They knew they were not supposed to take water from that particular location and use it for drinking water, and in order to save money, they wanted, basically divert using water from Detroit and use this muddy, poisonous water. So it's really scary what's going on in Flint, Michigan, and it makes you think twice about the water that you're drinking. Who's to say that it's really safe just because it's clear? So the whole situation is just really insane. You guys can go ahead and check out this news clip about the water situation, and I'm gonna come back with the rest of my commentary.
Tonight, Reverend Jesse Jackson is calling for a more sustained response.
Meanwhile, state and local agencies continue to ramp up their efforts to provide clean water and filters to families across the city.
7 Action News reporter Jane Park is in Flint with the latest.
To date, water response teams have visited more than 16,000 homes across Flint to make sure families have access to clean water, to drink, bathe, cook, and do laundry. But despite these efforts, there are growing calls to find a long-term sustainable fix. Men and women work around the clock at this warehouse, a ground zero distribution site to bring aid to families across Flint.
We currently have filter replacement cartridges. We have water that we're distributing. We also have our full filter units.
In the past week alone, more than 26,000 cases of bottled water, more than 50,000 water filters, and 4,700 water testing kits have been distributed. All ramped up efforts after Governor Snyder declared a state emergency January 5th.
We're here to service them until a permanent resolution can be found. We're distributing the water filters, which will really greatly help, and it'll alleviate the need for us distributing so much bottled water.
But across town, Reverend Jesse Jackson joined state and local elected leaders and activists, calling these simply Band-Aid fixes unsustainable for the long term.
The people of Flint have been betrayed. They have been given poison water and told it was pure and healthy when it was corrosive and sick.
Federal relief funds are on the way after President Obama declared a federal emergency, but city leaders want him to go a step further and declare a federal disaster, which would free up more money. Flint's water became contaminated with lead in 2014 when the city switched its supply from the Detroit water system to the Flint River to save money. Melissa Mays has been an outspoken face of the crisis, and she says the tainted water put her sons' lives at risk.
This is ridiculous. These are young, healthy, strong, young sons that I have, and I'm proud of my sons, but the fact that somebody did this to my children, they made this decision with no regard for human life and safety whatsoever, is a fury that I hope no one else has to feel.
And in a city where bottled water has become the norm, she and others say the state and federal government can do better to ensure Flint residents will get not only short-term solutions, but long-term support. Flint Mayor Karen Weaver has been in touch with White House officials this weekend to get a timeline as to when federal resources would start to be rolled out. In the meantime, there are ways you can help the residents of Flint. We'll post all that information on our website, WXYZ.com. In Flint, Jane Park, 7 Action
All right,
News.
so you guys just saw the news clip. So like I said, the situation in Flint, Michigan is really, really dire. So I hope these rappers really get involved and put the money where their mouth is. And I hope this is not just an Instagram thing. I hope they really reach out and try and help the citizens there. So anyways, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Let me know your thoughts on this entire situation concerning 50 Cent and Meek Mill. How did you guys feel about the beef? Do you feel like that's what Meek Mill gets because he started it with 50 Cent? Or do you feel like, they're both being childish and 50 Cent needs to respond on wax as opposed to just responding with a bunch of memes? And then how do you guys feel about all the drama that's going on in Flint, Michigan with the water crisis? And then do you agree that 50 Cent should also donate water as well and donate money and funds to help out the people out there in Michigan? So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. All right, deuces. Hey you guys, it's your girl T. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share my videos. You can also visit Lovelyti.com to purchase any merchandise. Also, don't forget to click the boxes down below to watch any of my previous videos. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.